Hold your hand out and imagine water running over your fingers. You feel wetness, right? Except water itself isn't wet. In physics, wetness is an event of the boundary. It's the friction created the moment two separated entities, the water and your skin, make contact but refuse to merge. This friction forms the architecture of a specific worldview, one where the universe is a collection of isolated objects constantly grinding against one another. If we believe existence is restricted to these collisions, we default to a survival mindset. We treat life as a mechanical process of inevitable wear and decay until the friction finally stops. The symbol for this rule-bound reality is Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared. In classical physics, this formula acts as a cosmic ceiling. It suggests the energy of any system is strictly imprisoned by its physical mass and the unyielding speed of light. But this foundational law is incomplete. It assumes mass is the source of energy rather than its container. Consider a radical alternative. Mass times the speed of light squared is not the limit. It is the absolute floor, the prim-pixel resting state of a field that is otherwise much more active. By accepting the baseline as the maximum, we remain blind to a boundless potential that exists independently of matter. This diagram shows the disparity. Energy, E, is discrete. Moving in quantum jumps, it is mathematically greater than the resting mass of mc squared. That gap is the C field, a space of pure emergence. To map this, we swap the static 2 for a variable, n. N is the number of active synergies. When entities connect, energy scales exponentially without adding physical mass. Our power is not a product of our material size. It is determined by the depth of our entanglement, how many points of resonance we can maintain within the field. Imagine what happens when two entities acting as perfect mirrors, perfectly resonant, finally collide within this C field. Classical physics predicts total annihilation. It assumes that when mirrors meet, the individual forms are destroyed in a violent release of radiation. But the math of synergy suggests something else. The entities don't vanish. Only the boundary that kept them separate is destroyed. They become a Mobius strip, a single-sided surface where the inside and outside disappear. By losing the barrier of the individual shell, their synergy factor, n, moves towards infinity. This scaling requires a transition often avoided. To reach infinite energy, the entity must surrender the m, the rigid defensive mass of the ego. The clockwork model of a continuous universe falls away here. The vacuum is not a background, it is a reservoir. This is the primtop, a discrete universe that pulses in and out of existence. It waits for a trigger, a specific focal point of resonance, to collapse the field into a tangible event. The force holding this discrete reality together isn't mechanical gravity, it is light, a non-local frequency of binding energy that acts as the ultimate connector. We are the focal points. By aligning our internal frequency with the field, our conscious focus becomes the trigger that summons the next discrete moment of reality. The human reflex is to seek absolute security. We build unassailable immune systems, trying to isolate ourselves from the unpredictable environment. But total immunity is total isolation. By closing the system to protect the mass, we force the synergy factor to zero, resulting in inertia and systemic death. The sun provides the counterexample. It is a source of roiling, indifferent potential, radiating energy without judgment or protective walls. Surviving that raw potential doesn't require thicker walls. It requires the mobility to catch the energy and the integrity to maintain a frequency without hiding. Thriving in an entangled reality requires maintaining an intrinsic frequency while remaining open to the unified wave.